So we're rolling, we're live.
I'm going to try and do this as quickly as possible.
Let's get started.
So what do you struggle with most in production?
What do I struggle the most?
The thing I struggle with the most is probably starting songs.
I tend to have a lot of musical ideas.
Would definitely have to be starting a song.
If I sit down to write a 3-minute track,
Just staring at that empty project.
inevitably I get ideas to do other stuff in the middle of that and weave it around, and it just always ends up a big weird mess.
It's daunting.
I think it has to be finding the right people to work with.
I struggle to find other people who are willing to collaborate, who live close to my area.
Most of the time I'm on my own in my studio here.
I just say mixing.
Mixing and mastering when you finish a beat.
And like the boring tasks like mixing and
It's like,
Mixing's been really hard for me,
mastering.
especially if it involves like my voice.
how can I have the key elements that I want loud and proud?
For some reason, I just become deaf to it.
In production, I struggle the most with creating catchy melodies.
I definitely say acoustic drum programming.
Having a consistent and scheduled output.
It's been difficult in getting a sound that I'm really happy with.
I think I struggle the most with sound selection,
That doesn't involve like actual sound design and time.
mainly chill,
I get satisfied with the result too easily.
laid back
So I tend to limit myself
stuff for lo-fi.
and not making a very professional sound in the end.
My biggest struggle is actually making sure that none of the technical stuff stands in the way of an idea flowing freely.
Satisfying my obsession with sounding different to everybody else.
Once we're in the heat of a session, I don't want to lose any time scrolling for sounds, worrying about whether my drums and my bass will line up in phase.
It's all about finishing the songs.
Finishing a song.
Finishing tracks.
I struggle the most with finishing songs.
Achieving that professional finish.
Deciding which will be the final version that I will send out to music distributors.
Maybe the perfectionist in us just makes us keep going.
Because in the end it's always different.
I have tons of 8 to 24 bar grooves.
And specifically the arrangement.
And
Is this done? Am I ruining the song?
That it's like my biggest issue. And I don't know why, but that's just the way it is, you know. Yeah.
Wow, a huge thank you to the community for helping me put this together. And don't go anywhere, because I want to end on an extension of my friend Nico's answer, because I think he's got some thought-provoking points for us. Now, if you're like me and you love hearing from a range of producers, then maybe I'll turn this into a series. Just let me know in the comments below, as well as what your struggles are in music production. If you want to get involved in maybe a future episode of this series, then just visit the description below. Now, if there's one area I don't struggle with, that's releasing music. I do so with the help of DistroKid. They make it so effortless for you to get your music on over 200 music platforms, and you have unlimited uploads from when you start your subscription. If you want to join me on DistroKid, then just use the link in the description below, as you'll get 7% off your first year. Now, let's see what Nico has to say. I would say for me, the biggest struggle when it comes to music production is having a consistent and scheduled output. And what I mean by that is that there's no huge time lapse between the time that I put out one song or one project versus the next. Of course, I don't want to force creativity, but I do believe there's an opportunity for me to schedule time for creativity every single day. So I have no expectations on what the output will be that day, but I have time to sit down and just, toy around with ideas or experiment with new sounds or whatever the case is. And eventually, the more you do that, the more opportunities there will be for me and for you to actually come out with songs and music that you really are passionate about on a consistent basis.